You know, I used to think change in my life would happen because of one really big decision. A new job, a new city, a lottery ticket. Although I'm still open to that one. But lately, I've started wondering if real change happens differently. Maybe it happens because of dozens of tiny decisions nobody else even notices. This morning started with one of those. This week, I announced confidently, I spend only what I need. Without even opening both eyes, Mooncat replied.
We've heard that before.
And honestly, he wasn't wrong. After breakfast, I gathered everything on the table. Notebook, calculator, laptop, bills, the glamorous side of adulthood. Nobody tells you growing up involves this much paperwork. Then I reached for my favorite thing on the table, my Portugal jar. There wasn't much inside yet, just a few bills and some loose change. But when I looked at it, I didn't see money. I saw sunshine, ocean air, little cafes, and the life I'd been quietly dreaming about for a very long time. Everything has a place this month, I said. Mooncat looked at me, then the jar, then me again.
We'll see.
A little later, we headed outside. The sun was shining. The patios were full. Flowers spilled from every window box. And for a moment, the whole neighborhood felt like something from a postcard. Then I saw it. You know that feeling when something catches your eye before your brain has a chance to stop you? That happened. A beautiful summer dress drifted gently in the breeze outside a boutique. It wasn't flashing. It wasn't covered in sparkles. It was just beautiful. My hands started moving toward it. Then I felt a soft tap on my arm. One paw, one word.
Portugal?
Mooncat never misses anything. As we walked away from the boutique, I expected to feel disappointed. Instead, I felt strangely proud. Not because I said no to the dress, because I finally said yes to something that mattered more. A few streets later, we found ourselves at the farmer's market. Everything smelled fresh, warm bread, lavender, peaches. Nobody seemed to be rushing anywhere. Lola was already there waiting for us. She handed me a peach and took a bite of her own.
These taste better than bubble tea.
I stared at her. Who are you? And what have you done with my daughter? She laughed so hard, people turned around to look. By the time we got home, the apartment was glowing with late afternoon sunshine. That's when Lola walked into the kitchen holding her phone. She had that look. Parents know the look. It usually starts with,
Can I ask you something?
beware.
Just one thing.
This time it was,
Can we get bubble tea?
immediately my brain started negotiating. It's only one drink. You already saved money today. You deserve a little treat. Funny how convincing your own thoughts sound when they are trying to spend your money. Before I could answer, Mooncat slowly turned toward the Portugal jar. One raised eyebrow, one look.
Choose wisely.
Living with him is like having a tiny accountant who works entirely for judgment instead of money. Instead of bubble tea, we made homemade iced green tea with lemon and fresh mint. And somehow, that small decision changed the entire evening. A little later, there was a familiar knock at the door. 3 gentle taps. All was the same. Grandma Luna stood outside holding a basket of herbs and homemade bread. Within minutes, the apartment felt warmer. Lola chopped vegetables. Grandma Lula arranged herbs. I stirred dinner on the stove. Glitch watched hopefully from below. Mooncat had somehow positioned himself exactly where food might accidentally fall. Entirely by coincidence, of course. I'm sure. Nobody was doing anything remarkable. We were simply making dinner together. And somehow, it felt like one of the richest moments of my day. Later that night, I picked up the Portugal jar one more time. It didn't look any different. It wasn't full. It wasn't even close. But somehow, the dream inside it felt bigger. I reached into my wallet and found a $20 bill. Nothing dramatic. No fireworks. No triumphant music. Just $20. I folded it carefully and slipped it into the jar. The sound it made was tiny, almost impossible to hear. But somehow, it felt important. Like the sound of a promise being kept. Maybe that's how a new life begins. Not with one giant leap, but with hundreds of tiny promises. Kept one ordinary day at a time. By evening, the apartment had grown wonderfully quiet. Not silent, just peaceful. The dishes were done, the windows were open. A soft breeze carried the last warmth of the day through the apartment. I made myself a cup of tea and stepped onto the balcony. The sky slowly changed colors. Gold became pink, pink became lavender, and before I noticed, the first stars appeared. Mooncat crawled beside me. Crow landed on the railing and looked out across the city. For a long time, neither of us said anything. Finally, Crow spoke.
Badger survived.
I smiled. Day 1.